because there's very little deflection in the suspension. It's all, or much of it is in the sidewall of the tyre, and they run the cars so stiff and so low for the aerodynamic advantage of that. Then those tiny ripples become bumps effectively, but it seems too big a word even for what we're talking about around here.
It is all relative, but it certainly threw off Jenson Button. Certainly remember in turn 6 in Bahrain, first race, first qualifying, McLaren got their ride heights all wrong and just never really got to grips with getting through that section and never really unlocked the real potential of the car. Saw far more of it in Australia, of course. Didn't see it in Malaysia properly because certainly where they wanted to be because of the mistakes they made in qualifying, starting way down the grid. Made for exciting racing, watching Lewis Hamilton and Jenson Button charging their way through the field. Is this going to be different? Will they be right at the front? Is Lewis Hamilton get his first pole of the season? Are we going to see Red Bull knocked off their perch? Vettel and Webber, the first 3 races, they've been the 3 men on pole. Lewis Hamilton fastest in the first part of practice. Here's Petrov coming through now, and this is his first flying lap, soft tyre with that green stripe. Much more confident here, Petrov and Kubica, and even when the temperatures were only just beginning to climb yesterday, felt they were far more in tune with the track than they had been in Australia. So good, remember, on the Friday, and then just seemed to lose grip, lose downforce on the Saturday and struggled. Made it up, of course, in the race with Kubica coming second. But the aerodynamic improvements that they brought, got a new front wing which is really helping with the downforce. They've taken off the new floor. They feel that needs just a little bit more work in the wind tunnel before Barcelona in 3 weeks, but I feel that's a step maybe in the right direction, but not necessarily here. It's just a little bit too raw, as you might say. That's a feature of Formula One now, the development race, where once upon a time you had 3 or 4 different pieces and tried them out. Now you've got to get it absolutely right first time because there's no testing, and the Friday practice is pretty much the testing ground. Petrov got a wide line round through there, and now onto the back straight through turn 13. All the cars except Pedro de la Rosa on the track. Robert Kubica has just made his entry. His teammate continues. Tight line through there, that hairpin.
I did a Polo Cup race here a few years ago, and you needed a calendar to time it down the backstage. It just looked so long. I'm sure it looks somewhat shorter in a Formula One car, a couple of 100 miles an hour. Petrov, a 36.311. That won't get him into the top 10.
Tell you, Lewis Hamilton's flying, just lighting up the timing screens. We're with Mark Webber there, but what is Lewis Hamilton doing? He is the fastest man through the first sector and the second. Got the bit between his teeth at the moment. Webber's ahead of him on the road. Let's see what he can manage for Red Bull. Sebastian Vettel doing smart things as well. What about Jaime Alguersuari? Keep an eye on him. Has just gone fastest. Really got his tail up after doing so well in Malaysia. First points. But what about Mark Webber? Pole in Malaysia 2 weeks ago. Coming down towards the line. And a lot quicker than Jaime Alguersuari. But what about Lewis Hamilton? Here he comes then.